The Oakland Hills fire that we're going to talk about today killed 25 people, did $3.9 billion of damage, burned almost 3,500 homes to the ground, and is one of the most costly and deadly fires in the history of California. And the crazy thing is, it happened over the course of only 72 hours. Today we're going to be talking about the Oakland Hills fire of 1991 and the 100 plus years of decisions that led to this tragedy and what we can learn from this going forward when it comes to fire management and fire reduction. Growing up in the Bay Area, there was always this plant that you would see everywhere. It is grown in ditches, it's grown on the side of the road, and it's a beautiful tree. And I always just kind of assumed that whenever you see a tree that's around so frequently, you just kind of assume that it's native. And I always thought that this tree was a native California plant. It's not. It was the blue gum eucalyptus tree, and it is literally everywhere. This is a tree that dates back in California to the gold rush, when during those times, things were taking off so rapidly. People from all across the world were trying to come to the Bay Area in California to try to take advantage of this gold rush, so they needed to build rapidly. And the way they were going to do that is by using eucalyptus lumber to build a lot of the infrastructure that was going to be needed for this population boom that was incoming. And since California has a very similar climate to what was found in Australia, people at the time thought it might be a good way to bring the eucalyptus tree over and use it as a timber source for the foreseeable future. The problem is that once they realize what happens when you dry out the timber, it has a tendency to curl and twist, which makes it not very usable for the types of railroad building, houses, buildings. So it became a timber that was not very useful to the people that brought it across the Pacific Ocean in the first place. And since that point, eucalyptus, because of its similar climate to Australia, has done very well, and it is pretty much found everywhere. And according to the state of California, it is a moderate invasive species. Besides its prevalency, the thing that makes this a really nasty invasive species has to do with its reactions to being caught on fire.
Wait, how is this kind of hatred towards another species allowed on YouTube? I mean, this guy's just a hater. Now, you think, oh, he's got legitimate interests. He wants to protect, native wildlife. He wants to keep his communities, the way they have been. But the only way people like this guy are going to survive, all right, is if he learns to become multicultural and learns to appreciate the eucalypti. The eucalypti are going to educate people like this backward bigot into becoming more welcoming to invasive species. And we have to stop using that kind of otherizing language. Like, eucalypti are not invasive species. They are just friends that we haven't made yet.